here's Wayne McCurrie. There's no O's in your surname, Wayne.
No, but I do have problems with
like an O from Kimberley, now.
I have lots of problems with the MC part, I promise you.
With the MC?
Yeah,
the Max.
People think my initials are MC Curry.
MC, popular in Durban. Wayne, the markets were up again strongly.
Yes.
In fact, there were some fantastic
There
moves.
were some big upward movements. And in fact, it's been quite a good week. I think the market's up about 1,000 points on the week. It closed last Friday at 18,600 and it's now 19,700.
It's a long time since we've seen this kind of...
It's a long time, but I mean, it's driven by overseas. This is not a local event. The overseas markets, the S&P's up 9% this week. So it's been a very strong rally overseas. But certainly the market, very, very strong today. Sappi, 11%. The big mining heavyweights, Anglos and Billiton, up 5 and 6% respectively. Gold down just a little bit. On the industrial side, SA Breweries was very, very strong, up about 3% on the day. Very good returns from other companies, Imperial 3%, Grindrod 6%. So there were certainly some big runs there. The banking shares were very, very good, other than FirstRand.
That's interesting. You know our little Twitter, and I don't think we've got you on Twitter yet, have we?
No.
David Shapiro was tweeting today, and he made the point that Sappi's up from its lowest point of about 39%.
Yeah, it's up hugely.
29%.
But understand it fell a lot before it fell seriously.
But it's up off the bottom. Sanabank up 28%.
Yeah, so is
Investec 20%. Anglo 17%. Even MTN 15%. Those are huge increases.
Some big increases off the bottom.
You'd actually you'd take that gain for 2 years.
Oh no, very much so. Yeah, I mean very, very much so. But they were. Those shares in particular were incredibly oversold.
Do you think that when you say oversold, does that mean that they're not going to go back there?
I'm not sure if we've seen the bottom yet or not. We have probably seen the bottom on Anglo-American, and hopefully we've seen the bottom on Old Mutual and Sappi. But on the overall market, it's still early days. But listen, I promise you, I'll take a bear market rally or the so-called dead cat bounce. Mm-hmm. It's certainly better than the cat falling when it bounces. It certainly feels a bit better. How long it lasts, let's worry about that in 2 months' time.
So you cannot say it's time to jump back into shares just yet.
Look, Alec, the share market is a funny thing, believe me. We could be 20% from the bottom. In other words, the market could fall another 20%. Or, given what it's done, this thing could bounce 20% up without anything changing, without the overseas situation changing. It is just so incredibly volatile. But I'll take one step back and just give an overall comment. On a 3 to 5 year viewpoint, our share market is good value. It doesn't mean it can't fall another 20% or 15%. It doesn't mean it won't go up 20 or 30% in the short term. But on a 3 year basis, it clearly is value. I mean, and that's relatively simple to evaluate. There's high quality shares here that are at 7% dividend yields.
Middle of last month. So it's only a month ago.
Yeah.
The all share index was over 20,000. We're now celebrating because it's getting back to that
20.
kind of level.
And look, this year has still been bad. I mean, this year is still down 10% this year.
No, it's horrible. It's
but still, it's better going up this last week.
But what has to start worrying people, surely, is the commentary coming out of financial statements out of the companies.
Yes.
Bell Equipment today produced headline earnings of £3.67. They passed their dividend.
Oh, they had to, yeah.
Highveld Steel today produced headline earnings of £22. They passed their dividend. So and both of those companies adding to a long list of others who are saying liquidity is an issue we have to consider.
A couple of things. If you've got balance sheet strain, your dividends are under pressure. If you haven't got balance sheet strains, your dividends are not under pressure. So companies are still paying dividends. Bell is interesting, very interesting. They actually produced acceptable results in respect of profit, but they produced no cash whatsoever. They chewed cash. They're sitting with 8 months of stock on the balance sheet.
I asked Gary Bell, in fact, we're going to have a recording of that interview a little later, how much extra stock he's got.
Ooh,
he
massive.
says excess stock over 750 million.
Yeah.
The market cap of the company is 750 million.
So,
So in other words,
stock.
if you just take the extra stock, the surplus stock they've
And they will sell it, but they need cash to finance it in the interim. So you've got the family giving money, etc., etc.
But for people who are not that familiar with the share market, imagine a company that you've got extra stock, that you've made it, it's sitting in the storeroom. If you can just sell that, that's already the valuation of the company.
But unfortunately, they've got debt against that and big debt against that. That's
the problem.
Now, Highveld, I mean, their results were up 100%. They made 24 Rand on a 68 Rand share price. That is just huge. The problem is the next 6 months, what they're going to do. Now, there's a couple of funnies, for want of a better word, in Highveld. For the 3 months to December, now we all know manufacturing was down 4%. We all know the steel market in December was in shambles. They made R6 a year, R6 a share for the quarter to December. So they were what appears to be actually quite profitable in that quarter. Secondly, they in their outlook statement, they said we've got 1.6 billion cash. In other words, no debt, cash. And they say at the end, it was a very downbeat statement saying that, we believe we're a going concern. Well, I don't think anyone was worried about Highveld not being a going concern. And then last year, they've paid dividends in between reporting
Special
periods.
Dividends
They paid a 18 Rand dividend. I mean, last year you got 24, 25 Rand in dividends out of Highveld.
You actually got 32 Rand.
So, yeah,
You got 18
it was
plus
massive.
14.
Yeah, massive. And this is a 68 Rand share price. You got half of it in dividends in a year. So, I mean, this company can generate serious cash when things are good.